Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the barricade, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can apply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi or hey or say something with somebody else's emotes or remain silent and just be a lurker. It's okay to lurk and just enjoy. Some people put this on their TV and just have it on while they hang out. This is the intro portion of the stream where I talk to you for a while, and then we get ready to build model kits. And in fact, I'm working on the Hi-Nu Gundam real grade. Welcome, Rosa. Uh, welcome to the old Build with Bear. Throwing in somebody else's emotes. Perfectly cool. Um, yeah, the Hi-Nu Gundam real grade came out a month ago and change. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome as always, my friend. Um, yeah, I'm thrilled with how it is already. We worked on the feet. The feet are done, and then we're going to work on the legs because we're starting from the bottom, working up to the head, and then the backpack and the weapons and the funnel. But it's kind of fun to start there instead of starting with chest, which is where you often start with model kits. I have not done a real grade in 2 years. It's been a while, but this real grade looked real good, and I did want to buy something that like had just come out. Also, hey Aristophan, welcome. Aristophan is here. Um, it's it is very necessary right now if you are someone that builds model kits on the internet to buy a model kit when it comes out. Honestly, pre-ordering is really the way to go, although there are delays and sometimes it ends up in stores, and going to stores, which I'm not doing right now, but I'm going to have to start doing. I'm going to have to start like going to Targets to buy things. It's really important to do that right now if you want to build things that are coming out and you don't want to pay $30 to $40 more a little later. Like, I have heard from a few different people that when I said I'm building this kit, their response was, it's sold out everywhere. And that, yeah. So, I do like to buy some of the old and new premium stuff that comes out. Like at some point this month, soon, supposedly, a couple things that I pre-ordered are coming. And it's nice to have that. But also, uh, you know, as I keep doing this, my fourth year of model kit building, or we're I guess, yeah, um, in year five, I guess. Uh, Eventually, I'm going to run out of old-ish kits, and I'm going to have to start buying very old kits or just whatever new comes out, and that can be, expensive. Uh, these days, finding a high grade for under $30 that I haven't already built, because for some reason, what I've built before I can find for cheap. It's the stuff I haven't built before that, like, it's just weird. It's just been weird. I bought something the other day that was a pretty reasonably priced kit. Let me look that up. We're hanging out here waiting for a few more friends to come in and join us before we get to building. That is our thing. Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't super reasonably priced. I said, oh yeah, that was pretty reasonably priced. It isn't. I bought a high grade kit for $36. Um, it's it's the completionist in me wants to build every high grade from Iron Blooded Orphans. The Barbatos Form 6 with the mace that's also a Jaws of Life um, clamp thing. I haven't built that. I haven't built that high grade. It's one of the only high grades. I think there's only like two other ones from Iron Blooded Orphans that I haven't built. But as I said, that was $36, which is a lot for a high grade from, I forget what year that came out. Let me see if I can see on this photo. No, can't look at it. I can't see. But yeah, I mean, that's just unfortunately the price of business right now is spending $36 for a model kit that maybe I could find at a shop, but also where I'm at right now, I don't have a shop. So, the price one pays. Um, we got a few friends here tonight. We might get started in a moment or two. I'd like to hang out a little bit in the zone. What's on the docket for conversation tonight? Well, Watched a show. We'll talk about some anime. Read a couple manga that I felt like talking about, so we'll talk about that. Um, uh, Wrestling. There's a pay-per-view tomorrow. Maybe we'll chat about that. We didn't really talk about AEW's pay-per-view last week. Never really came up, so maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe some wrestle talk. And we'll get. I'm going to retweet my tweet. We're going to get into the model kit building thing. So we'll get into that. I'm just going to retweet the old tweet, get the word out that it's leg day, because it is, because we're going to build some legs. So we'll go to the overhead here. Main, hell yeah. Just check a thing real quick. Make sure that, yep, autofocus is turned off so that I'm not getting all weird with that. That's great. Let's start working on the leg. So, I got Netflix again. Haven't had Netflix in a while. Yeah, okay. Haven't had Netflix in a while, but I felt like, I should get Netflix. I should watch this thing that I want to talk about this. There is a weekly anime on there. Komi Can't Communicate. I was like, oh, I should check that out, which I will in the future. I don't have comment on that right now, but I will be checking that out because I've heard very good things. And I was like, I'm going to watch this live action anime that everyone's talking about. And so, of course, I watched the 2005 adaptation of Initial D, the movie, live action, which is a Hong Kong production. Um, I also watched the live action Cowboy Bebop. But at first, I want to talk about that because it came up in my recommendations because Netflix was like, well, do you want to watch all the live action anime we got? So they were like, do you want to watch the Full Alchemist movie? And I was like, no, I don't. Do you want to watch the US Bleach live action? And I was like, I don't want to watch that either. Like, they're like, do you want to watch the Initial D movie from 2005 that's done, the Hong Kong film? And I was like, I mean, I've watched that before, and it's not good. But yeah, I did want to watch that. So we'll talk about that first because here's the real thing, the honest to God thing. I have way more positive things to say about Initial D the movie than I do about Cowboy Bebop the live action series. So Latchford says I almost couch surfed a friend's login until everything started coming out about Bebop. So before I get into Bebop, because I am gonna, well, person that want my camera keeps bouncing around. I want my full chin to be everything to be here. So we'll do this. Um, Here's the thing. Cowboy Bebop live action has some things that are not bad. Has some things that are bad. Has some things that are bad, but about a character who is also bad, and that's always a weird thing that I always want to be able to talk about, which is that hey, sometimes bad people say garbage, shitty things, and that's okay. And then I want to talk about how it is some of the dialogue and conversations feel like somebody took jokes from their Deadpool fan, fanfic, and then took the one-liners out of it that they liked and put it in a Netflix show. If you want to hear Faye Valentine call people motherfuckers, then this might be the show for you. Let's work on these legs here. Watched one ep of Cowboy Bebop live action, didn't hate it. So that's the thing, right? It's not bad. It doesn't get better though. Here's the thing. It gets worse as it goes. I actually think genuinely that if you have not seen the anime, you'll think it's like a fine enough sci-fi show on TV. I find it like if this was on Sci-Fi Network, it would be great. It would be one of their best shows. Um, its biggest problem is that it is an adaptation of a seminal piece of media. Uh, so it's tough to be fair to it. But also, it is desperate for you to remember how good Cowboy Bebop is. So, at the very least, the marketing, the writers, and the production want you to be like, you loved Cowboy Bebop, here's more Cowboy Bebop for you. Here's our take on it. They really want you to think that. They want you to make the comparison. And the problem is that it's a bad comparison because it I mean, we're just going to talk about it. I'll come back to my weird thought I had about my weird thoughts about a movie from 2005 uh, about a series of fast driving drifting cars where most of it is real cars except when it needs to be cool and they need to do car shit, drifting, mountain drifting, and then it's CG and it does it CGI, I should say, and it doesn't look good. Um, Also, the big thing about the Initial D movie is there's no Euro beat, and there is pretty good Chinese hip hop, like legitimately some fucking good tunes, but there's no Euro beat, and you can't do that in Initial D adaptation. So that's my that I guess I wanted to say that. The FMA movie is interesting for what it is. They basically set up So Tucker as the villain of the series for time constraints. Yeah, I've heard it's not bad. It's just like, what is this? Um, I have heard nothing good about the Bleach movie, and I have heard very mixed, weird things about the Death Note, which I don't care about Death Note, so I don't think I would ever watch it. Um, I have heard from people who have not seen anything from Death Note that it was fine. And I have heard nothing good from people I know who really like Death Note. Anyway, I got Cowboy Bebop. Here's the weird thing about the Cowboy Bebop live action. Um, the best part of it is Spike and Jet just being bros who don't want to all the time be bros. That like know a lot about each other, but don't know everything about each other and trust each other, but also like are waiting to be stabbed in the back and also kind of respect the idea that someday they'll be stabbed in the back. And it's kind of fucking interesting and kind of cool. But then one-liners come out of their mouths that are awful. And jokes happen that aren't jokes. And it's tough when it's action. I'll say this. You can see the fights happening and they look good. The one-on-one fights look very good. But a lot of it is like, hey, here's our spin on this classic episode of Cowboy Bebop. It's not as good and rushed because we have 10 episodes to tell a 26 episode story. So we're going to obviously we're going to cut out a lot of the one-off interesting episodes that don't really feature the major plot. But also, hey, you know who needs to be in this show more? Vicious. Vicious is in a lot of the show. There's 10 episodes, and Vicious is in a lot of episodes. Uh, I said this on Twitter to a friend that Julia and Vicious are whispers of Spike's past. And they aren't full-blooded, fully fleshed out characters in Cowboy Bebop. And some people find that to be a detriment. In my opinion, them being whispers and memories, and Julia in particular being just all we see is a reflection of the love Spike had for her, and she's not a full character. Obviously, that's a problem for people, and I get that. But also, that's the fucking point of a character like that who's not a full-fledged character, who is just a whisper of an idea, is that, like, she, for all intents and purposes, in the anime, she is a ghost. And her death is like she's been dead this whole time anyway. That's not that metaphorically. So to have her be a important character and not the idea of her being an important character. Also, Vicious is fucking boring because there's nothing to that character other than being cool looking. He's a OC, do not steal. So you have to make up some stuff because he's just the guy that could kill Spike, because anyone could get lucky and kill Spike, but he's the guy that is going to kill Spike, that is going to do damage to him, is going to hurt him, is going to take things away from him. uh I didn't realize it was supposed to be the whole series. I thought they only did half for some reason, especially with the last minute reveal. Well, here's the thing, Lashbrook. Where do they go from here? I mean, look, I am not going to talk about episode 10, the episode 10 revelation of a introduction of a character, because other people are doing that spoiler, and I honestly think it's actually very important that if you're going to watch the show, you don't know about it. And if you have seen a clip online of a certain character's introduction, I actually think it is necessary for context, because some people are looking at this introduction of this character and going, "Well, that's what it's like in the anime." But the important thing to realize is that the writers and producers of this show think the anime, all anime in general, and this anime in particular, is beneath them, because everyone but the actors uh, clearly doesn't have any reverence. So they try to like modernize and make it like fit and make it work, and they have to, because this character, this introduction of this character, um, which is obviously for diehard fans, uh, looks awful because maybe you shouldn't um, ever at all adapt anime into live action, because I don't think it fucking works. I don't think it works at all. I think it is fundamentally an incredibly difficult proposition to take action, sci-fi, fantasy anime and adapt it into live action. It's possible, but it's expensive and it's risky, and you need to uh, have a love of the source material and like fucking do the work. Uh, so, yikes in general. Also, it has to be said. This is the thing that I do need to say this. You want to flesh out some of the characters? Great. You want to have Jet have more going on, not just a cop who has been hurt and is now, and disgraced and is, living for himself and doing whatever needs to be done. You want to give him more? Sure. Awesome. If you're going to cast a black man as Jet, which, to be clear, is awesome. Hey, don't make him a deadbeat dad, trying his best and not connecting with his kid. That's a fucking trope, and it fucking sucks. And you didn't have to do it. Uh, It's a fucking bummer. Because, like, hey, dub voice actor for Jet is a black man, and that character, and it, like, fucking works in the world, and it, like, there's no reason it shouldn't work, and it does, and it's awesome that it does. But, like, holy shit, don't fucking do that stuff. Like, come on. It's a no brainer. You know, I'm not even talking about a character who says real messed up shit. Because you've probably seen the clip or the screen grabs of the "Is this blackmail?" Well, you're black and a male. Uh, these terrible, like, awful, like, come-ons from someone who is, like, interested in the idea of Jet, not Jet as a person. Uh, and hey, we can have a discussion about that and that kind of culture, that fetishization. But like, there's a lot of stuff like that. You could be like, okay, like, I understand. I can hear someone say, like, hey, you know, that's just like playing with it. That's not like someone's opinion. That is just like a character choice, and it tells you a lot about the character. And it's like, okay, sure, you can think that, sure, but there's so much of this that is just oof, oofta. Uh, it is the marketing doesn't mean anything. So when I talk about the marketing, right? Marketing, the people that decide how to market a thing are not the same people who wrote the show, who directed the show, who produced the show. Those are not the same people, right? Marketing is just, how do we get this seen by as many people as possible, right? How do we make as much eyes on the prize? Because Netflix is eyes on the prize, right? So I wasn't too worried about how the marketing kept showing comparisons of uh, the anime and, like, here's our version of this scene, because, like, marketing doesn't understand that people who don't know anything about Cowboy Bebop are going to be like, okay, and people who do know things about Cowboy Bebop are going to be like, why are you showing things that look worse? Why are you doing that? What is wrong with? Is this a bad production? What is going on? So let's take that out there. But from the limited reading I've done, and I could do more certainly for interviews of people, um, uh, it's clear that they were like, we want to make this future, the present we're seeing here, like, literally a quote talking about how they were like, well, we don't want this to feel like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. We want it to be like, there's darkness, but it's not a bummer. And it's like, okay, don't make Cowboy Bebop then, because uh every main character in Cowboy Bebop is a broken husk of a person just trying to survive, and maybe by working together, they can pull through and get some normalcy. Like, sadness is a major fucking component of Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is not just Tank and like Spike Spiegel karate kicking people. There's a lot more going on. Like, what the fuck? Um, Also, hey, let's talk about how Faye Valentine's character is a person who wakes up with the disease that she had cured and is told, you owe us more money than you'll ever make in your life. One of the main characters in that show is just in unbelievably inescapable medical debt. That's her character. That's like her big thing. Uh, You've got that. You've got the person who believes their lover to be dead, who was murdered and seemingly murdered, and has various memories removed, and it's clearly been experimented on, and has no real connection to what that means. You've got the injured, down on his luck, like trying to pull it together. The guy, Jet's thing is, I'm going to be good to these people because that's all I know how to do is be a caretaker because I don't have anything else. And what this show feels like, their interpretation of Cowboy Bebop feels to me anyway, from watching it, is, oh, Cowboy Bebop's fucking cool. The music is really good. The fight scenes are fun. Spike sometimes looks like he's going to be in trouble and he gets beat up, but like he still wins. And like the other characters are cool. And like Jet's got like machine parts and like, oh wow, there's that dog. That dog is fun and cute and sometimes helps save the day. And Faye doesn't wear a lot of clothes and shoots guns. And it's like, that's what it feels like. That's why the music is the same, and there's new music that is the same vibe. The music is the vibes. But like, there's an important episode that I'm not going to talk about too much here, because I do think that if you're going to watch it, you should go in not knowing exactly what happens in this episode, because I do think it's important, because it's an important part of the series. But there is a character from the anime that is just so poorly done. I don't know why they adapted the episode. Like, they could have not adapted that episode, and instead they adapted that episode, and it's, yeah. Anyway, I'm very negative on it. I think that if you have no real love of Cowboy Bebop, you can go into this, or if you have very low expectations, you can go into this and go, there's some good action in this, there are some fun scenes in this, there's, the main characters seem to like each other and seem hell-bent on being good to one another. There are things about this to like. I think you can go in if you can go in with that, you will at the very least enjoy some of your time with it. But if Cowboy Bebop means something to you, I don't know how to like it. Like, yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say this. It's a glimpse of what a good adaptation of Cowboy Bebop could be, is I guess what I'll say. Can I get what's going on with these parts here? This goes in here. But that's like that. And that's like that. And that's not like that. All right, sorry. I'm having an issue here where this part doesn't line up right, and I don't know. Is this a mistake? But this just doesn't look right, and I'm confused. Sorry. My real hope is the leads to a reprint of the movie, because the Blu-ray is out of print and very expensive. Yeah, that would be great. Also, you can watch it on Netflix. You can watch it on Funimation. If you don't have a Netflix account, you can go on Funimation and watch the original. That's what I meant to say about it. You can watch it. You can watch the maybe this part. Maybe this part is wrong, because this is not lining up right. Nope, 26. That's the right part. Okay, so where am I at right now with this part? I've got this thing, because this is supposed to, we're going to get some movement here, right? So we got these pistons. These pistons should move in and out, right? I got this part on here. I got this piston put in there. It's got, it's this part here on either side. A little pin stick out. So you put that in and you lock it in place, right? But this side here locks in, no problem. This side, it's like it was built to not have that connect right. Because it has a pin, and that doesn't make any sense. But otherwise, it would fit in. It almost just looks like this shouldn't be there. So I'm like, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm very confused right now. So then I'm going to look here, make sure I have the right parts. I don't know what's going on with this. It feels like I'm doing something wrong, and obviously I don't want to force anything. So I'm going to go look for parts 56, which I took out. So that's parts 56. I don't know. How often do you come across issues in these sets? So flip flop slap fight, almost never. Which is why I'm also thinking that this is something that's my fault, because you don't run into issues like that. You just don't. So my thinking is, and I actually think I know what's right. So I have put this here on this outside pin. It should go on the inside. And if I push this on the inside, and then do this on that, it does line up right. So I was putting this in the wrong place. It would fit there otherwise. I had it wrong because it is an issue like that I've come across, which is doing something complicated that I'm not quite used to. I was looking at the instructions and I was following the wrong. I just had it in the wrong spot because they didn't fuck this up. I fucked it up. There's something nice about knowing that when it comes to model kits that, like, maybe some old kits have some weirdness, but generally they're not messing something like this up. I was messing it up. Because you don't want to have to, you shouldn't ever have to force things to work, right? To get these things right. So in this one particular case, I just didn't understand what was asked of me in this situation. And now I got it. And that's also why it's good to take your time with things, especially when you are confused. Real grades are complicated model kits, but also this came out this year, and I don't expect them to have a fundamental issue. Also, I would expect to hear about that from friends of mine who have worked on this kit. When I got a misprinted Lego brick once, I was dumbfounded because it never happens. Yeah. If you're missing a Lego piece, generally it means you put the piece you're looking for on the kit some other time by mistake, and you have a similar looking piece, but not quite the same piece, in your hand. And you're like, this doesn't fit right. Oh, because it was supposed to go over there. Generally, that is the case. Occasionally, people do mess up. Like it is, it's possible. Machines mess up, that kind of stuff. Like it is possible. It's just more likely that it's user error rather than it be any kind of other error. So yeah, so we've got these little pistons here working on the legs. The thing with the real grades that I really enjoy is they're going for trying to like have it like make sense, quote unquote. So I do like that. Um, but yeah, anytime I've had, oh, I'm missing a Lego piece, it's because I did something. It's not because the kit is wrong. It could be, but generally not. I just want to check something real quick here. Getting this thing again where, yeah, we're getting this thing again where uh, the view numbers are just like weird sometimes. Because I was like, there are more, like, there's not a lot of y'all tonight, which is okay. Again, okay. But I was like, there's more than it says, which is frustrating because I do pay attention. This one was zip printed wrong. The spot on the bottom where it would have locked into another brick was almost solid. There was no way to connect it. Yeah, that's really weird. But like, look, nothing is perfect, right? So like, it's totally plausible that you got a bad piece. It's just fucking weird that you got a bad piece. It's like surprising that you got one that like isn't what you wanted. Strange. Um, anyway, I have Netflix for a month now, at least a month. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it, but I have Netflix for at least a month. I am going to check out tomorrow. I have some time, and part of tomorrow is going to be me checking out Comey Can't Communicate, which I have heard good things about, and it is coming out weekly. I love that Netflix does do this now, where they don't wait for a show to completely run in Japan that they have licensed worldwide, that they do release episodes in episodic shows that they have invested in. I think that is fantastic. So I will be watching Comey Can't Communicate sometime tomorrow. I don't know if I'll watch every episode. Depends on how I like it, but I'll watch enough to be able to talk to you. I don't... Weird. I'm going to allow that. That is a weird thing. Uh, sometimes my auto mod is interesting. Um, Lego is straight up amazing with that too. Contact customer service, and they bend over backwards to replace even the most tiny things. Yeah, it was strange. Yeah, Flip Flop. I am pretty aggressive with auto mod and what I want it to do, mainly because I don't have mods. So I am doing some heavy lifting with auto mod, uh, kind of leaning on the side of, hey, make sure this this chat message is okay, rather than, oops, that's not good. I got to add that to the block list. Instead, it's like, I'm going to take that off the block list. So that's generally my feeling on that, my approach. But yes, it does lead to cases where you're like, hey, this isn't a problem, auto mod. You can fucking be cool. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna check out Call Me Can't Communicate. I watched the Initial D live action movie. If you love Initial D, I don't think you should watch it. Again, uh, the soundtrack is good if for a different movie. Okay, so where does this piece go? This piece goes. Does it line up like around this? Above this? Where does this go? I got this piece here, and I'm like, okay, where are you pointing? I think it goes in this piece. Maybe it does, yeah. Huh. Like where though? Sorry. Yeah, it goes in here. It goes okay. I want to make sure I put this in the right spot because I don't quite know where it goes, and then it's like hidden. So I'm gonna try to get this right. Um, yeah. Is that right? Oh, because that just pops right out. Where did this piece go? This is bad. All right, let me. Because yeah, it's gonna get covered up, and I'm not gonna see it again. So it goes like this, and then when it's straight, I can't see that piece. So wherever it went, I like lose out on it. This is the piece. They kind of show me where it wants me to put it. Here? I'm like looking for the spot this thing goes in that like doesn't feel like I'm putting too much pressure on it, that like it would just slot in, and I'm not finding that spot. There we go. Is that right? Okay, that's where it wants to be. Great. Oh, and it goes like that. Excellent. I did find the place I was supposed to put this, and it does feel right when it goes in there. So that's awesome. Uh, I can't remember if I asked this before, but do you have pictures of the collection you have amassed over your time with these kits? So, this is an important thing to talk about when we talk about that. I have a few photos here and there of my display wall when I was living in New York and had a part of my living room dedicated to my favorite like Lego sets and some of my favorite kits for Gunpla. Right now, I don't have anything on display. Since April of 2020, I have been, or not April, the lockdown happened July of 2020. I am living here in this bedroom here in my parents' house because all of my jobs ended in New York, and I have not moved back, and I do have plans to. So I have a lot of kits in storage, but also I don't save any Lego. All Lego kits that get built on this stream get disassembled and put in a box, and then when I fill a box, Amazon box or something else, that box goes out to Lego Replay, which is you can get it print out a FedEx label. You can get a it's tax deductible. It is a charity that properly cleans all Lego pieces and then donates that Lego pieces to children's hospitals and women's shelters and various other things. So I do that with Lego. I've done that for years now since I basically started streaming, when I realized there were some Lego sets that I built on stream that I didn't really need. They were fine, but I didn't really need them. So I do that with all Lego. I've saved like a couple Lego sets. They're really fun. Like I have a the monster burger truck, which is like a burger truck, take out or walk up, get a burger truck, but it's on it's a monster truck. It's on big wheels. I have that. That's a really cool thing. I wanted to save that. But most stuff I haven't saved. When it comes to model kits, oh yeah, Lego Replay. I'll double check again that is what it's called, but it's been a hot minute since I thought of it. But yeah, yeah, Lego Replay. It is part of the Give Back Box initiative. So you can check that out. Yeah, it's U.S. only, but I believe, but it is cool. The burger truck is my next build. The burger truck is incredible. Enjoy. It is such a great build, but I saved that because it's such a fun kit. But most Lego I just end up recycling, donating, I should say. And then model kits, right? In New York, in my storage unit right now, are several, 20-something kits, all bubble wrapped, all in their own Ziploc bags, all saved and sealed away with other bubble wrap in there, handled with as much care as possible, on top of all of my other boxes in my storage unit space. Here in South Carolina, where I'm currently at, I have a box with, I would say, probably 8 to 10 model kits. So, and that number constantly fluctuates. Like I'll get something and it'll go in the box, and then I will go to move something else in there, and I'm like, actually, you know what? I don't need this. I don't want this. Like, ooh, I'm going to keep a Death Scythe. Sure. I want to keep my Initial D, the A86 kit. I want that I just built. I'm going to keep that. But I'm like, do I need this Extreme Gundam? No, I don't need this Extreme Gundam. It's a fine kit, but I don't really need it. And I kind of keep to that. And then anything that I decide I don't want to keep, or kits that I never intended to keep in the first place, go into recycling. And they get plastic recycled. Apparently, in Japan only, Bandai is starting to work on a recycling program for Gunpla and also for these sprues. Like a better way to handle that, like a part of the company mission. And right now that is Japan only. I think that's awesome. I hope that starts extending to other markets as well, because I end up with a lot of these. So I do recycle, and I don't keep everything. When I first started building, I kept everything, and what I didn't display, I kept in a box, because part of me when I first started streaming, this was not part of income for me. I became an affiliate pretty quickly, which was rad, but it wasn't something that I was like expecting to be a part of me making money. I was expecting to consistently take a loss doing this, I didn't necessarily think it was going to grow as fast as it ended up growing at all. So part of the how can I help make this grow was I did a thing where at the end of every month I would randomly draw a number generator from my list of subscribers, and I would send a subscriber a kit that I had built, a model kit or a Lego set that I had built, as a way to have less kits in my life. Which was fun, was very fun and very cool, and I'm happy I did it. There is a downside to that, which is that's when I was building 2 hours a week. When I was streaming 1 day a week for 2 hours, it was pretty easy to get that stuff out and have a little bit of backlog. And also, hey, here's a kit here and there that I like. I'm not building, I'm not giving this away. This is a cool thing. I'm going to keep this. Once I started building 4 hours a week and then 6 hours a week, oh, well, now we're done doing that. That's done like that. We can't keep up. And then also, I ended that when I moved here because keeping up with going to the post office when I was living in New York by myself, it was very easy for me to just like, head to the post office whenever I wanted because I work nights during the day, no problem. Here, I got to arrange transport. It's a whole thing. Also, really can't do that. I can't spend my own money like that anymore. I can spend money on model kits and money on equipment to keep doing all this, and I can buy video games to play on Wednesdays when I find a game I want to play, like Jackbox stuff, no problem. But I can't do that with, I can't just like mail things out. Also, I didn't mind that some subscribers of mine knew my address in New York. That like there are 20 something odd people that know my address. I didn't mind that. Also, it's not my address anymore, so I certainly don't mind now. Nobody's gonna learn this address here. Like nobody's getting this address because it's my parents' house. So like no, and I'm not getting a PO box here just so that I can mail things out from it. Like that's like non-negotiable. So it just works out that right now, someday I might return to that. It might be fucking cool to do that. I don't know. I don't think I ever will. But I have figured out a solution to having Lego. I don't have a model kit solution right now, and that is a shame. Other than just being like, well, I'm gonna have less model kits. Someday I would like to have a better solution to that, like what I'm doing with those. So yeah, that's that. Like I said, I have taken some photos. I'll do not now. It won't probably be till the end of January, but I will take another photo of a display of stuff that I'm displaying because keep all the kits and open a shop one day. Yeah. So in February, I will be alone in this house for like a month and change. My folks will be going to Florida for a month, and I will be here. When that happens, I move all of my gear out to what we call the Carolina room. That's what they call it down here in the South. Down here in South Carolina, it's the Carolina room. If I was a northern boy, I would just call it the family room instead of the living room or the den, but it's not. It's an attachment. It's called the Carolina room. That's what they call it here. So I will be moving all my stuff to in there, which will be very fun. And then I will like build a set behind me with some of these kits, just to have like something in the background. Because here I just have like my bed frame, and I put something in the photo. So if you really want to zoom in, you can see that it's a box from a model kit that I built on stream, which is fun to just put that in the frame. But I'm not gonna, yeah. So for that, I like to like build a set, quote unquote, and I have like a couple kits, and that's also the hope that someday, I mean, the real dream for any streamer is to have a room that is the streaming room, and I could have like a real table instead of this as my table, which is fine but not perfect, and I could have like shelves behind me full of kits that I've built. That would be great. And I could like rotate stuff in and out and add stuff and like change where you saw it because you wouldn't see all of it. Like I think about like Brian Kibler, like for a long time had like his trophy case for Magic the Gathering and and Hearthstone. And that was like, well, I'm a streamer. This is where I would put them, would be in my streaming room, and that's like his backdrop. And I always thought that was like very fucking cool. I like that. So like that's the thing I would like to do, is to have like, here's some stuff I built on stream, just like in the background, and like if you're interested, you could check it out. But you know, like moving into a new apartment when I move back to New York, like the ideal would be I would figure out like where to set up a room to allow me to have a bunch of cool shit, like a wall that would be like, I'm gonna keep in mind what's a wall like that can be behind me as I build. You may remember, folks that were around when I still lived in Brooklyn, the wall behind me was just like a black piece of cloth that I had put up because that was just like a white wall. And I figured like the black cloth would be better. Also, that black cloth was over it was over a window because I didn't want to have a like sunlight shining in while I recorded things or streamed. So I would just do it like that, and I think that worked out okay for me. Flip Flop says, I get a bit jealous anytime Vinny Caravella has a wide shot of his background with all his OG Gen 1 Transformers. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, it makes sense. Vinny's the only person in his house who cares about his Transformers. It's cool that he can have them on a wall, like a display, and people can see them, right? Um, I hope that Alex eventually starts putting up all of his, like, we just say, I've seen Alex Navarro's collection of wrestling masks. Oh, we dropped a couple frames there. Sorry about that, folks. I would love to see him properly display those and maybe have people being able to see his variety of luchador masks. Luchador and Japanese wrestling masks. I think that would be cool. I like when people put the things they like behind them to build a set. And it's not just like, here's a bunch of like gaming equipment. It's just, or like, yes, it's big, it's good. I enjoy it, but like, I want people to treat their backdrops of like, here's like, part of it is the functionality of the idea that people can be like, here's a place I can put this stuff. Oh, that's so good. I could put this here and it would fit, and that would be great. I appreciate when people can do that. Instead of people being like, Jason's Jason masks. Yeah. Instead of people just being like, this is the space where I can stream. Like, I understand not everyone can stream out of having a room to stream out of is a luxury. Like, Alex streams out of his office. It's awesome that he has that. Or like, some people stream out of their kitchens. She did the lighting for those. That's awesome. Having an office is a luxury. Of course, and John, totally. Also, hi, John, welcome. Having a space like a streaming office or an office or other bedroom is certainly a luxury. I mentioned this. I'll mention it again as we get closer. I'll say it now. I'll keep saying, like, there's going to be a week of streaming that's going to look weird to everybody because I'm moving in to a different room here in this house. We have a very small office in this house. And I'm moving in there because my dad's sister and her husband are coming to visit, and they can't sleep on the love seat because I call it a pull-out couch. It's a love seat that has a mattress in it, so it is for one person. So they'll be here in this room, and all of my gear is going in that room, which is an office. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I don't know how that's going to work right now. This desk that I build on, this fold-out desk, is not that wide, but it's very long. It folds like the part that folds is here, here, here. It's like right off stream is the seam of where it folds. So I don't need all of it for building. I have like my shelving unit. I have my computer because that way it's not on a carpet. It's up. So I have my tower there. I have a TV monitor. Like, it's a TV that I just use with the Stadia to watch like some stuff and watch videos and stuff like that. I don't use it for the streams. I don't need all this space, but also I don't have anything except this to do model kit building on. So like, I don't have a square table. Like, my square table I didn't bring it down here. So I don't know what I'm going to do in there and how I'm going to set it up. Because like, the thing I'm thinking right now is I can put this in a space where if I take my chair and move it aside, I can unfold the love seat mattress and the mattress will stick underneath the desk. So my feet will be actually my feet will be like right here. And that I think is like literally the only way I'm going to make it work. So that's going to be interesting. I'm moving in my computer stuff on a Tuesday because I'll be streaming that Wednesday in there, and sleeping in there. But I'm basically going to give myself a lot of time to set up, figure it out. So that room's good. It's going to be weird when I'm in there. Also, the best place to set up my desk or table means that my backdrop is going to be a wall of family photos, including photos of me as a kid, but they all are like in frames with glass, and I think that's going to be very not good. And I have no good way. I'm not going to take them all down. They won't be like visible, like you won't be able to like see them in high def, but because this webcam isn't really doing that high def of a signal, but it does mean that they're going to be really reflective. So the best case scenario of where I can set my desk up is actually a bad scenario. I stream out of my office that's right off my bedroom, so as not to disturb my wife sleeping. I built a soundproof door over COVID that looks like an M's door in the Bond films. That's awesome. I like that. Luckily for me, right now I don't disturb anyone. I think I'm like when my aunt and uncle come and stay here, I'm going to have headphones on when I listen to things, and I am afraid that they're going to hear me through this wall. When my uncle came and stayed, he just slept in the office in the love seat pullout, and he didn't hear me. He says he never heard me when I was streaming, but also his hearing isn't great, so that might be more the reason why he didn't hear me. And so I'm a little worried about disturbing them. My hope is they don't go to bed before 11 p.m. That's my honest to God hope, is that my streams end before they go to sleep. I don't know when they sleep, and that's a weird question to ask. But yeah, we'll find out. It's going to be like a New York apartment in the new room. Totally. Maybe some black construction paper taped over. Maybe. I don't know. I think it'll be okay because I can hopefully light it in a way that the light doesn't really reflect back there. Because also, if the light on me is fine, if I'm getting side light and it's a little weird, it's how many streams will it be? It'll be a Wednesday stream, a Thursday stream, a Saturday stream, a Monday stream, a Wednesday stream. So 5 streams. 5 streams is a lot, but we'll get through it. The thing that's actually really annoying is they're leaving the same day that I leave for PAX Unplugged. So that means that I'm going to stream that Wednesday night, and then next day get up, get ready, go to the airport. So I'm going to have to leave all this stuff in the office, and I won't be able to actually move it back in here until the Sunday I get back. And that is annoying. Yeah, it sounds probably going to be like a bigger problem than the picture. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I mean, echo shouldn't be too bad for me, for y'all, because I am using this room mic and I do have a pretty damn good gate going. So hopefully echo won't be a problem. It's a smaller room than this room. So theoretically it'll be okay. And it's also full of stuff. So that also will hopefully be helpful. I don't think I can see the leg on here. I want to see if I'm... Okay. Yeah, that does look right. All right, good. Sometimes having that photo, very helpful. Of just being like, how does that look? It looks like this. Great. Also, a thing that you have to be careful of with real grades is undergate. I will try to show off what undergate means the next time we come across a piece that has undergate. But basically, it is just extra material on a piece, a model kit piece, that you have to cut off before you put on. And they've been pretty good about telling you, hey, there's undergate on here. But I'm not great at remembering there's undergate because I haven't built a real grade in a while. So I'm going to get another step done with these legs, and then we will take a pause for the cause, and I'll talk about ways you can help me out. Carpet and a couch will suck up most, if not all, the reverberations. Yeah, so it is carpet in that room, which is very helpful, and it is a small room. I mean, it's like a bonus room, really. Like we call it an office because that's where my mom's desk is, and she does do paperwork in there. But also, like, there's a filing cabinet in there, so it's the office. Whereas this is the guest room. It's just I am been a permanent guest. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go in there and figure it out. Also, I can't really take anything in there out because I could put it in here. So I'm thinking I might take the filing cabinet that's in there out. It's only 2 drawers, and bring it in here, just so that I don't have it in there and I have a little bit more room to move around. That's my thought. I don't know how it's gonna work. Also, like, I don't want to really disrupt that room. I'm trying to be accommodating as best I can. Undergates are great because they're usually attached in place that you won't see the nub marks. Yes, Lashburn. Hence the name undergate. They're often in a place, yeah, you won't see that, right? This piece didn't have an undergate because you would really see the seam, but other pieces we're going to be putting in do have undergates, and you'll be snipping those off. But if you don't snip them off, then you have to end up taking the part. You don't always, but you often have to take the part off again and clip it. So it is important to pay attention when that happens. Anyway, we're going to get back into building this in a moment or two. I'm going to put that back over there. Here's the thing we're going to do. We're going to talk about ways you can support the channel. If you're new to the stream, I'm going to talk for like 5 minutes about ways you can support what I do here. I don't run ads during a stream. I don't have any sponsorships or anything like that. I don't have an Amazon link to, like, hey, buy this kit here and I'll get like a couple pennies. I don't have anything like that set up. But I do have to buy model kits consistently to do the streams that I want to do. And so I do offer ways to support me financially if you're interested. First and foremost, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in there like Flip Flop just did. If you're tier 2, like Aristofan, you can throw the Scythe emote in there. That's for, you get that as if you're a subscriber. Like I said, there's a tier 2 subscription emote, and there are 2 tier 1 subscription emotes. Subscribing is an easy way to support what I do here. Oh, I'm going to go to the intro. Using Cash Money, donations, or monthly fee, or Prime Gaming token. You have your Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch. You get that token. If you're not going to use it for me, please use it for somebody. It helps out a lot. And I appreciate it. But yeah, subscribing is an easy way to support what I do. Gifting a sub. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community. Right now, I'm at 46 out of 50. I like to be at 50 subscribers. Right now, I'm at 46. If you would like what I do here and you thought about, well, I'm already a subscriber, you could share the love with somebody else. That way they don't see ads. They get cool emotes. That's a thing you could do. You don't have to do that, but it would be cool if you did. Bits and coins, always appreciated. Appreciate that very, very much. Another way to support what I do just gets me a little bit of more money every month that goes into buying model kits and equipment. If you've been gifted a sub, you could convert that to a regular subscription, and they won't charge you until your gift sub has run up. So that's an alternative that maybe you would be interested in doing. Now, if you're like, Pat, I want to support you, but I don't want to give Twitch any money. They get my eyes, they don't get my dollars. I hear you, I understand. I got a Patreon. Patreon.com/PatBear is an alternative to that. Go there. You buy, you join a tier. $1, $3, $5, $10. Those are the tiers. You get as little as a Q&A every month, and twice a month I tell you what my schedule is. $3 a month, you get that stuff. Plus, you can vote on what I do one Wednesday a month. $5 a month, you get access to my videos before they come out to everybody else. When they're still unlisted, you get access to that. $10 a month, you get those $5. You get all the other rewards. Plus, every time it's time to me to build a kit that's not from my Amazon wish list, because that jumps the queue, if I'm just going from my own list, you get to decide what I build. Those are what those tiers do. I haven't said what they all do in a while, so I thought I'd say that. Now, alternatively to that, you could become a member on my YouTube. My YouTube is just $2 a month. And you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, because I have a series of videos that come out every Wednesday. You get to see that every Tuesday. That's the least I can do on there. I also make some AdSense So if you want to watch my videos with your ad blocker off, that would be a great way to support what I do. Or if you have YouTube Premium, you could watch my videos, and that would be also be great because that way you don't see ads, and I get the money if you were as if you saw the ad. It's pretty okay. Um, also, hey YouTube, if you're watching there, subscribing is free if you want to do that. But thank you to the people watching that. And if you're watching this later, after the fact, all of the links here are in the show description on the YouTube video and in the chat, the pre-rolled chat, if you're watching this on a VOD on Twitch. What's up? I know there's a couple of you, that's how you watch, which is cool. Let's see, those are ways to support me that cost money. Oh, direct donations. Maybe monthly is not something you're interested in doing. But you can do it one time to my Coffee or my Streamlabs or directly to PayPal as a gift, personal gift. Actually, don't do my Streamlabs. My Streamlabs doesn't work anymore. I forgot. My Streamlabs doesn't work anymore. I got rid of Streamlabs. Don't donate through Streamlabs. My apologies. I forgot, and now I have to go in to every video script that I have, because I cut and paste scripts, and take out that part from the future because Streamlabs is no longer an option because I am not using Streamlabs because their company is Garbo. I have Stream Elements right now for overlay stuff. I don't have a donation set up with them. Maybe I should do that in the future. Yes, I'm gonna update the Nightbot command. In fact, I just did. So if I do it again, now my money is through Coffee or directly through PayPal. Great. Should have updated that before. My apologies. Anyway, we'll get back to building in a moment. I'm going to just run through these pretty quick. Those are all the ways to help me because everything I make through Patreon, through Twitch, through YouTube, through direct donations goes to me buying more model kits and equipment like the Streamlabs that I've got here. And various other things. So I can play a ching sound effect on the soundboard portion of my Stream Deck, which is nonsense that I can do that, and it's cool. Anyway, if you want to support me for free, join my Discord. My Discord's free, and you can hang out there. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. We'll get back to building in just a minute. I got a couple more things to promote, and then we'll get back into the business of model kit building and try to keep working on these legs because there's a lot going on. We barely put any armor on these legs. Very detailed. That's what a real grade is. Lots of detail. I have an Amazon wish list if you wanted to. So I'm building this right now, and I'm psyched about it. I have other things in my backlog. I've got high grades. I've got a Lego set. I've got a kit that is made by Bandai, but it's not a Gundam looking that I would like to build. I could build any of that, right? Or I can build something that you bought off my Amazon wish list, because if you buy it off my wish list, it jumps the queue. And I shoot a video about how you bought this kit and kind of show it off in my mailbag video. So I've got Lego sets. I've got high grade kits, master grade kits, inexpensive Lego kits like, the RX-782 Gundam Beyond Global. I haven't built that yet. Right now, that's $23. That is incredibly cheap compared to other sets. I've got the Maquette Gundam. It's the Wing Gundam Sky Zero high grade, which is basically a Wing Zero, but with different colors and some different parts. That kit's $26 right now, which is a great deal. Some kits are $40, and it's like, that's not a good deal. Why is this high grade $61? That's nonsense. Maybe someday it'll be cheaper, so it's staying on the list. And some equipment at the bottom. And then an alternative to my Amazon wish list is you could buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store, and then they send you an email with the code, and then you could DM me on Twitter, because my DMs are open, with that gift card code, and I'll look at it and take it and then buy something for USA Gundam Store. And it won't be a pre-order item. I'll actually buy something they have in stock because I did that once. Harold was nice enough, H-Bomb and Friends was nice enough to do that. And then the kit that I pre-ordered kept getting delayed and I felt bad. So I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I did have somebody who once sent me money via PayPal explicitly to pre-order a kit on USA Gundam Store, and I was like, I will do this for you, sure. That was the Cup of Noodles kit. He was like, I need you to build that, so pre-order it now. And I was like, you got it. And it was not hard to get, but it was very, very kind. The insistent helping. All right, so I've gotten almost done here doing my ad read stuff, my personal promotion. We'll get into model kit building again in a moment. Couple links for you to check out. I'll have a new episode up on Monday, but right now you could check out the last episode, the most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, where I talked about some very chill anime. The new episode that comes out on Monday is another ranking video. I ranked some things using Tier Maker, which is fun to do every now and again, but I don't want to do too much. And then the best of Build with Baer is from a previous kit that I did on stream, where I just got really fucking pissed off at the stickers. It's just a moment of me just being so mad about stickers from that stream. I'll have a new clip up. Actually, forget what the new one is going to be. Next Wednesday, I already have it up and ready to go. Every once in a while, I'm ahead of schedule on my clips, which is great because that means I can not worry about it. So I just uploaded the new one. I forget what that one is. I'm going to actually look it up myself right now. Oh yeah, that's a fun one. That one's okay. The one I uploaded is pretty okay. This one's pretty good. Just me being mad at stickers you can't even really see. All right. Oh, and I got a what's the notification? What's this notification? Oh, that's the emotes notification. Yeah, I know about that. Why'd that pop up? Oh, that's a different thing. I had a gifted sub to a streamer, and that gift just expired, which is fine. It's fine and okay. All right, let's get back to building. Let me find the... We're going to start by talking about some anime, and then we'll talk about some manga as I continue to build this model kit. And I'm going to drink a little water, too, because it's time for water. But we're going to talk about the Faraway Paladin, because that is... that's a good-ass show. We are in the second half of the first season of the Faraway Paladin. You can denote it as the will is raised, and now it's the will is out in the world. Will being the main character. He is out in the world doing his thing. If you haven't been watching the Faraway Paladin, it is available on Crunchyroll. It is currently my favorite show this season. I do not say that lightly. I do not take that lightly when I say it's my favorite show this season. Now, is this season particularly great? No. But is it good? Yeah, it's a good season of a crop of anime. But certainly not my favorite. But this one is my favorite show this season. It is the story of a young man who knows since birth that he is a reincarnation, but he does not remember a lot of specifics of his time in Japan, but he does remember that it was filled with regret, that he died with regrets. He did not enjoy the way he lived. He came to realize he wasn't really living. So now he's in a fantasy world. He was raised by a ghost, a mummy, and a skeleton man. And he is a paladin. He knows how to fight with a sword and a spear, and use a shield, and he knows magic. And he also knows how to heal people, and he was raised to be blessed to provide blessings. He is the apostle or paladin of a god named Gracefeel, who is a merciful god. She is the goddess of death and the cycle of death and rebirth, which is so his mission is, hey, there are some undead in this world that need to pass on. You're going to have to help purify them so they can begin the cycle and go in there. Also, she's the person that reincarnated him, which is why he is here. Should also say right now, these chrome pieces look very nice in person. Just going to say, not going to show up too great on camera. Might not even look much different, but in person, ooh baby, ooh mommy, indeed, these look good. Um, Great. We'll get back into talking about this. So he's out in this world. The very first person he met is a half elf who he was. Will is just like, I can't tell him he's the first like human, half elf, but he's the first like living person that I met. So like Will is like trying to socialize, and this dude is not having it. There was a whole thing last episode where it was like, oh no, is Menel like a villain? No, Menel is just like in a bad place and not doing good things and not being helpful, not trying to do his best. Anyway, a bunch of demons attacked Mendel's the village that Mendel lives in, and some people survived and escaped, but a lot of people died. And Will is like, "Yeah, I'll go there. I'm going to defeat these demons. You got it. I'm going to defeat these demons. I'm going to make sure the souls can go back up." This episode is sad and lovely. Like a lot of this show, there is some real sadness to these stories, but it's still really well fucking done. Really good. Because Will takes care of them with no issue. Taking care of these demons, not a problem for Will. He's not going to run into any issues doing it. And even Menel ends up helping out, which he's a little tsundere. He's a bit tsundere, but it's fine. It's not aggressive. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. But happy to have you here, my friend. But anyway, yeah. So there's some sadness in this episode because many people were dead, and some of them have turned undead. Um, and they need to be saved so that their souls can begin the cycle of rebirth. Because they will also lose their consciousness, and they eventually will completely turn into the undead and be mindless. So, it's like Menel has to like say goodbye to a little boy that he knew, who calls him like big bro Menel, like, and it's just like, oh, it's kind of heartbreaking. Um, but Will helps a lot with that. There's a whole beautiful scene between Menel and what's her name? Marple. Marple was this old woman that saved Will when he had been poisoned and was on death's door. Gave him a life, and most of the people in this village were rescued and saved by this woman who is now a ghost. But she was powerful enough, she was strong enough that she still has her senses about her. She doesn't need Will to do anything. She was just there. Her unfinished business was, I needed to tell someone that these demons came from a stronghold of undead nearby. So I need someone to take care of that. Will's like, yeah, I'm doing it. That's my thing. Um, and so then she can pass on, and it's a lovely scene. I'm like skipping the dramatic elements of it, but it's like, it's this like argument fight because he's lost without her. Why did she end up dying? Situation, and it is lovely. It's a lovely scene in the anime. Anyway, the end of the episode is Menel saying like, "Hey, I know you're gonna go do this. I guess I'll stick around. Also, can you be a conduit to receive your god's blessing?" And he's like, "Yeah," because part of Will's deal is Will needs to help spread the word of Gracefield, because Gracefield is has kind of fallen out of favor, which makes sense since there's so many undead in part of the world. Because the god of the undead helped out somebody like help pretty much destroy the world. So that's why Will is out there doing his thing, is to spread the good word. So let's see. Is this part Undergate? No, I don't think this part is Undergate. I think this part is. Sorry. Real quick, let me figure this out. I don't think these pieces are Undergate. Maybe they are. No, they're not. Okay. They have Undergate on them, but they're not fully Undergated. There it goes. Okay, so it goes like that. Ah, right. I got it now. There it goes. Nice little piece of silver in there. Gotta make sure that these are not clean, and I can put that in. Okay, yeah. So now he's on board. Look, is do I think ultimately that this half elf who often contemplates his own death, and why is he still there, and why does he live while people die? Is this dude going to betray Will? I don't think directly betray him. Will he fall from like fall to darkness? Maybe we'll have to fight. But anyway, Will having the backup of an archer and a hunter is pretty cool. And also, Will, like, it's cute. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with you. But Will's just like, I think I made my first friend, and it's like, oh yeah, buddy, you did. Um, good on you. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's real good. Um, that's the episode. I don't know if we're going to meet the young lady and the old man that are in the opening animation. I'm expecting we're going to meet them at some point. I don't know if it's coming up uh, or if it'll be like towards the end. I mean, they're in the opening animation, so like I feel like they have to be in uh, an episode at some point. We got more episodes, so. Uh, so yeah, that's the anime that I have been watching. Like I said, on Monday I will talk a bit about Comey Can't Communicate since I now have Netflix for at least a month. Um, Flip Flop Flop says, so if I just wanted to find a smallish kit to build that won't break the bank or break me, is there any good place to start? Honestly, so right now we are still dealing with supply chain issues for everything, including model kits. And you also add in the fact that model kits are in demand because last year a bunch of people suddenly had free time because they didn't have to commute to work and because they were working from home. And some people were like, "It's time for me to finally get into model kits," or they were like, "It's time for me to get back into model kits." So stock went down, right? So the easiest place in the world to find things cheap is to go to Target. If there is a Target near you, because Target has a couple exclusives model kits in the high grade, but they also seem to be one of the places that has a lot of stock right now for Gunpla. They don't have everything, but they're going to have high grades for you. The entry grade kits, which are uh, the entry grade kits are not as easy to find these days. But you can find the high grade. So I would say Target is your best bet. If you want it to get it in a quick fashion, Amazon is a good choice. I always recommend supporting your local hobby shops and model kit places. But I can't tell you where that store is in your local community. My guess is um, some comic book shops have stuff, and those prices are going to be actually kind of reasonable because comic book stores know what the value of a comic book is, but they don't always know the value of model kits. So they might just put it in as like, here's what we bought plus whatever, our retail price. But they might not be always checking to see actually what's that going for at Amazon, what is that going for at other stores. So you might be able to get an okay deal there. Also, a comic book shop uh, might know who in town sells the shit you want because they get asked it a lot. So if you like buy a couple comic books or and then you're like, hey, do you know where they sell like anime model kit stuff? Like, don't even say Gunpla because you're expecting them to know Gunpla. But you're like, like Gundam stuff, like anime model kits. Do you know anybody that sells that stuff around here? Uh, and they may be able to point you in the right direction of like, yeah, you want to go to this store. Um, Not saying that is a foolproof solution, but it is possibly the way to go if you want to. If you're like very clear that you would like to purchase locally, that is probably the way to go. Is to ask where do you point it, because not all hobby shops carry Gunpla. Um, like, and some do. Some towns, you might even have an anime import store in the mall, like a kiosk or something. Their prices are going to be aren't going to be as competitive because uh, if they're the place in town where you can get model kits and you can get like bootleg anime soundtracks and like a bunch of other bullshit, they probably know what that stuff is worth. So you're not going to get like a deal. Um, GameStop sometimes has model kits, and they're actually very competitively priced. Uh, they often will have like anime figure model kits, like the Figure Rise kits that Bandai does of like Dragon Ball characters, and like the Naruto kit I built, I bought at GameStop because it was in stock there. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully that those are some places for you to check out. I can't say for certain. Good luck. Like I said, you can find stuff on Amazon, but it's going to be pricey. Like I said, the fact that there's a kit right now that is pretty new available on Amazon for $26 is like kind of ridiculous that it's that cheap for a high grade. And I expect it to go up in price soon. The fact that like the kit I just bought that's a couple years old, I got for 33. It's a high grade, yeah. What's the grades just recommend for a starter? So high grades are a great scale to begin in. They're the same scale 144 as this, but this is a real grade and it's very complicated. High grades, those are your basic, your beginners. Some of them are complicated. I would say if you want to start with a model kit, you get a high grade from a show you like. Because like I can build a death scythe with my eyes closed. I know how a death scythe is supposed to look. You don't want to start with like the Unicorn Gundam or the Banshee, which have like a lot of parts and a lot of like sliding parts and like a lot of like colorways, and they're complicated and definitely not a great place to start. But like I don't know, you can buy a kit for you can buy a Zaku 2, and it's just gonna like the Zaku 2 is like pretty bare bones, pretty basic. You can figure it out. You can make it. Now, the actual best place to start is with the entry grade line. There's an entry grade RX 782, which is the Gundam. It is what people think of in their heads when they know what a Gundam is. That is what they think of because it's the Gundam. It's the Gundam. It is the goddamn Gundam. Yes, yeah. It is the it is Amaru's. It is the Gundam. RX 782. There's an entry grade. Entry grades are a new line that came out last year, maybe 2019, but I believe it was last year. Last year. They are meant to be your first Gundam. They are meant to be the love that started it all. They're straightforward. The RX 782 requires 0 stickers. Some other entry grades have stickers that are not model kit ones. I'm looking at RX 78 entry grade on Target's website for $10. Yeah, I believe they have one that is like, because it's like the Gundam Breaker line, so it's got like weird colors. Like it's got like American flag shield, but the original RX 782 is available. It should be priced at $10. It's hard to find it at $10 these days because it was very popular and they didn't make a million of them. So the Target's website has it has the weird colored one, but it's also $10. That might also have stickers. I don't know for sure. It might need stickers to make that color work. But it is the first. It's beautiful. I mean, they've had years to figure out how to make this kit look good. They made that kit look good. It is a beautifully simplistic, wonderful kit. You'll build other RH782s, and it'll look more detailed, and it'll look cooler, and it'll be more intricate. But that one is just lovingly designed. How pissed am I going to get at the sticker? So, I don't love putting stickers on. I got better at it. The American one, it for sure has stickers. Okay, Lashbrook, yeah, that's stickers to put on there. So Decal, if you're good at Lego decals, these are harder than that. So I got some stickers here. This is a little different because these are very shiny, real grade stickers. They're similar, but a little different than the other ones. But they're still like tiny stickers. Deku. There's an entry grade kit for Deku. I like it. I think that is a fun little kit. But his freckles are stickers, and I lost one of the freckle stickers. It just flew away. And that was very frustrating because I wanted to have that. And I was very annoyed that I did not have that. It was bullshit. Some stickers are going to be fine. Also, here's the thing. Really, when it actually honestly comes down to it, when you're building model kits, the only stickers you really need for a model kit is the eyes. The eyes don't always look good without a sticker. They can. You can do okay without them. But they don't always look great without the stickers. Every other sticker is just, color correcting or to make a section pop and look good. But, like, who cares about color correcting? Don't put a sticker on if you don't want to put a sticker on. Like, it's fine. It's totally okay if you don't. They can be really annoying. You want good tweezers or an X-Acto knife to do it, but you can get by without it. And like I said, they are optional. They're like, would this kit look better with, because these are the stickers, these are all the water slide decals where I'm going to like cut the piece out, put it in water, lift it off of the backing, slide it onto the piece, let it dry there, and then it adheres. Would this kit that I'm building here look better with all of these? Sure. Am I going to do these water slides? Fuck no, I'm not. They don't need them. Sometimes you do want the water slide, like if it's a kit that has like a big number on the shield and the number isn't available on a regular sticker, it's only on the water slides. Then maybe I'll do that. Like, I'm going to do that because it's going to look good if I do that. The Initial D kit, the AE86 car kit, was water slides, water transfers. I did those because that kit needed it. It made it look great to have that. It felt good to put those on. So I did that, even though I'm not great at it. All right. I hope that answered your question. Also, folks in general, always feel free to ask questions about model kit stuff. I know for some folks that have been here a while, like, these answers, but sometimes you also, might have comments and thoughts that I don't have. I remember trying to do a water slide sticker with an airplane model. My dad and I were building. It was maddening. It can be maddening. And then Lord Crash then wants me to play the ska button. Thank you for using your channel points for some ska. Here you go. And you're welcome. And also you're welcome, Flip Flop. But yeah, no, I'm not an expert. I am an enthusiast with experience. I'm an experienced enthusiast. But I can answer questions. There was a couple of streams ago where someone was just like, "Hey, what are you doing with that marker?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't said that out loud in a while. That I use Gundam markers to like accent some stuff on this kit. Like I had it like talked about that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll talk about this a bit." Because it's a thing I do. Sure. It's like, oh yeah, I'd forgotten that I hadn't talked about that in a while. I love this blue so goddamn much. It's so good with this like pure white and the silver specifically. That was me too. Awesome Flip Flop. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't say anything negative. No, I wouldn't have. But yeah, no, it's like, but you asking that question was good because I haven't like answered that question in a while. And I get a little complacent sometimes about these things. Like, I know that every stream is somebody's first stream. Now, are all those people going to become regulars and here in the chat all the time and asking follow-up questions or asking anything? No. But this stream is always somebody's first stream. So it is good for me to remember that. And sometimes I don't remember that. I do remember some things I wanted to say about two manga series that I'm going to chat with you about. We're going to start with The Reincarnated Young Lady Aims to Be an Adventurer. This is the somewhat typical uh, topic for a manga of, hey, here's your main character. She remembers that she is a reincarnation, and that in this particular case, she is the future villain of an Otome game. And she's just like, oh, nothing good happens here. I'm going to die. I don't want to die. And I don't care about these other. I don't care about what happens here. She's like, I have a loving family, and they are going to turn against me. Like my father and my brother will side with the heroine. And you get the sense that this anime or this manga, as it goes, kind of gives you some information that, like, which is also kind of typical, is you know, in the story, in the dating game, video game, or whatever, it's easy to be like, oh, she's the heroine and she's the villain. But in reality, the heroine is like the main girl seems to be maybe not cool, and like actually maybe manipulative. But anyway, she figures this out when she's 3 years old and is like, I have to fight this. Um, and she's like, okay, here's what I can do. I have powerful magic. What if nobody knew about that? What if everyone believed that I'm a no magic? Because that happens. If I'm a no magic, then I won't go to the Royal Magic Academy, and I won't meet the people that I won't meet the Crown Prince. I won't become engaged to the other prince. I won't meet the heroine. It will be fine. Everything will be okay. I'll go to adventuring. She's like, I'm going to go to the Knights Academy, and then I'll become an adventurer, and I'll be able to use magic, and it won't be a problem. So she like convinces her dad. She's like, this is what I want to do. He goes along with it. But the Crown Prince shows up, and he's like, when you're older, you're going to be my bride. And she's just like, I'm 5. No, thank you. And she's like, I don't have magic. And he's like, yeah, but you have like a mythical beast as your companion, and I like those. I've got one too. That's how I know you have one, because she does. She made a contract with a mythical animal because she saved it when it was a child. And he kind of knows what's going on. He knows that like she's reincarnated and all that. So she's got like a confidant. But yeah, so some stuff that's like in the book is happening even though she was trying to prevent it. She was working really hard to try to prevent these events from happening. But it seems like there's some things that are going to happen no matter what she does, which is interesting. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading it. But there's some stuff about it. It feels a little different than some of the other very similar stories that I have read. So like I said, I don't know if this is for me. I'm going to continue it, but maybe I will. The other series that I have been reading that I am wanting to read more of, and I have now caught up with everything that's released, and I want more, is Magic Artisan Dahliya Won't Hang Her Head. Dahliya Wilts no more. The first thing I want to say is, if you have maybe read the other manga. For some reason, there are 2 manga adaptations of this light novel. This one is the slower paced one, and the other one is like just starts in the action. This one, and of course I read this one first, the slower paced one, so I am probably like biased, but I liked it. I like the slow paced nature of it. So this is another reincarnation story. But she's got her memories, but this is not like an overpowered main character. This is a girl named Dahliya who was reincarnated, has her memories, and has some magic ability, and she is the daughter of a well-known artisan who makes magic items. develops his own magic items, makes new magic items that are very beneficial to people, makes a lot of stuff like convenience magic is basically the thing. And she's good at it. She learns from one of the best people to ever do it. But also, she's got all her memories of things that she wants in from Japan. So, like, it's a magic cook stove, right? Well, she's like, when it's winter, I want to make hot pot and eat hot pot with my dad. How do I make hot pot here in this place? Let's make a one burner stove. Very popular with adventurers because now they have a portable magic stove they can take with them. They don't have to make fires. They can just take the stove. So she's instantly like beloved for her creations, her very smart creations. Another one she comes up with is water. She makes a raincoat because they have umbrellas, but they haven't figured out raincoat technology. So she makes a magical raincoat thing, and people love that. Like the knights and adventurers and everything. She makes popular stuff. But it's not just like, oh, I'm alive now in this world and I can make cool things and I'm a cool lady. There's there's some stuff going on. Like, there's not big world drama. Like, she's not going to become a saintess or anything, like the saint or anything like that. But she is just dealing with, like, the death of her father. The fact that the day that they were going to go and sign their marriage certificates, her fiance broke up with her. Now, to be clear on that, this was a convenience marriage set up by their fathers, so there wasn't any love there, but also, like, it's a consistent problem. This dude and the girl that he left her for, and it's just like a bunch of nonsense, and there's like nagging things. Also, there's fucking romance in this one, and it's great. It's starting off. There's like a knight. They help each other out, and he's like trying to blend in with people because he's like, oh yeah, I get distracted. Like, people get distracted by me, and it's weird. And that's because this knight is goddamn gorgeous. This is a hunk of a man, just a beautiful man, and it's good. It's slow, like I said. It's slow paced. I want more of it. As I said, there's another Magic Artisan Dahliya with a different subtitle than this one. I don't have any information about that. I did not look for it because the only thing I know is that one, like, basically starts with her being dumped, whereas this one that I read is the slow. It builds to it. Yeah, it's good. I like it a lot. And I'd like to read more of it in the future. But I don't know when that's gonna be. Hopefully there'll be more. But yeah, that one is good. I'm interested in more. So one that I recommend, one that I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about this one. So take that what you will. Coming up, how do I press Meshinuma? Meshinuma is a short chapter, like, manga that was adapted, but like it was adapted for like mobile, and so I don't think it was ever picked up, and I don't think there's any way for me to watch the anime adaptation. But it's basically a guy that hates his job and is overworked, stops home for food, and loves the food that he gets, and it's on his face. You can see it on his face, and it's him like going to places he wants to get food at, knowing about where the good food is, and just enjoying food. It's a food enjoyer anime, or manga, I should say. Meshinuma. And I'm going to be checking that out. I've heard very good things about it. All right, so I got more stuff to put on here. We're just going to do, the back plate part on here, and then we'll get into more of that soon. Video games. I wish I could play less Slayer and more Big Team Battle. I kind of just want to play Big Team Battle and Capture the Flag. and I want to play way less Slayer because I'm not good at Slayer, and I am okay at vehicles and flat and capturing the flag, and I just kind of want to run around like that and have fun doing that and doing less uh of just like trying to snipe and trying to survive. Um, I'll take your Slayer games then. Send them to me 343. The few matches I've done in Halo Infinite were all capture the flag, and I hate that mode. See, I love capture the flag um, because I'm not the best shot in the world, but I'm pretty good at tactics, and I'm very good at uh, defense, like getting in a room and just defending. I'm like pretty okay at that, like being in the way so that someone can get the sniper shot in place. Like I'm pretty damn good at that. So I look forward to more games of capture the flag. Uh, I've been enjoying it a lot. I'm having a good time. It's weird for me. It is pretty damn weird for me to play a Halo game with a mouse and keyboard because I am very used to playing them on an Xbox with a controller. But I'm trying to get good at mouse and keyboard. I'm trying to get better at mouse and keyboard, but that is not necessarily the way that I play these games, especially Halo. But I also I didn't play the last Halo so at all. So it's like it's been a while for me. I'm still trying to learn the game, so I'd like more TDM style games like then capture the flag. I got it. I play, I suck. Well, here's the thing, right? Eventually, you'll just start getting more and more groupings with people that also suck because they'll figure that out and matchmaking will work better. But it's going to take a little while. Everyone I've heard playing it on PC has said the same thing. It's just weird. Yeah, it's weird because like I'm not a keyboard and mouse player for things like Suck Squad. Indeed, like like I play Fallout with a mouse and keyboard because I didn't play Fallout on an Xbox, but a friend of mine played on the 360 Fallout New Vegas, and like when he got Fallout 4, he got it for PC, and he's like, I had to plug a controller in because it's just that's not how I play these games, and I'm like, how do you fucking play it on a controller? But for Halo, it's like I should probably use this with like I think I would be better. I would be better with a controller. I don't know. This is no, it's definitely not. But it's the first one I've played on. Uh, it's the first Halo. I mean, Halo One came out on Mac. Like it has come out. But this is the first for me of playing it like this, and it is there's a learning curve trying to do mouse and keyboard. I told myself I was going to play through the old games before Infinite, and then never did. Yeah, I hear you, Lashbrook. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up here. This was so much work. We're not even done with. We're close to being done with the legs, but there's still plenty of leg left to build here. This is a lot. This is very complicated. It's a real great, but like it's awesome. I'm loving all the movement in the knees. I think it's rad. I like this thing pops out to like pop open like that. There's like some good movement here. A lot of good gimmicks in this, and we're nowhere near done with it. But like just the fact that this piece pops out to because like you would expect the rocket to move and this piece to adjust for it. Very good. Very good. I'm looking forward to the more of stuff that I'm putting together for this. Oh, certainly, Lord Crash. Certainly. Anyway, we're gonna raid. Leg day, always hard. Indeed, always hard. We're gonna go raid, and I don't know who we're gonna raid. The last week or so, and plus, week, I knew we were raiding Desert Bus. Like, I just knew we were gonna raid Desert Bus because it was a charity event. I knew it was gonna be fun and silly. So I didn't, I always knew who we were gonna go hang out with. And I don't know who we're gonna go see right now. Who's streaming and doing stuff? Oh, yeah. I think we're just gonna go and check out H-Bomb and Friends. Harold is streaming and doing a charity stream. That's right. Harold is doing Extra Life. We're gonna go raid Harold because H-Bomb and Friends is a good friend of the stream, and he's raising money for Extra Life. doesn't really have people watching right now. So if you can't donate, I understand. If you can donate, that would be great. Because Harold is a good person, and it would be nice to do that. And uh, I will say this: often Harold is not streaming at this time because I stream at this time, and he wants to hang out and support and watch. So the fact that he's streaming right now is because he's doing this long charity event as part of Extra Life. So yeah, let's go hang out with Harold. I'm gonna hit the old raid button there. So feel free to come and hang out with me. I'll be back on Monday. We will continue working on these legs, try to wrap this up, and then move on to the waist. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go hang out with Harold, which will be fun. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, great rest of your weekend. If you haven't watched it and you liked Cowboy Bebop more than I did, God bless you. And I'll see you on the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.